My window is so big that the glare is literally my entire glasses. I guess that just means I have to have good posture this video. So, the Booktubeathon is over. It's been a week, and the readathon has ended. So today, here's the wrap-up of what happened during the readathon as, expectations versus reality. So, here we go. I actually did pretty good this readathon. I finished 6 books and I started the 7th. So, I did a lot of good things. Basically, so in the last couple of days of the readathon, I finished up another book and started another one, but I also worked for 16 of the last 48 hours of the readathon, and I was exhausted. Like, over the course of 2 days, I worked for 8 hours, slept, and then went back to work for another 8 hours, and so the time on either end of that, I didn't really have a lot that I could do, really. I didn't have a lot of energy left to do reading at that point. But anyway, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the numbers, because obviously we all care about the numbers. So, in this readathon, I finished 6.5 books, and that math comes out to 1,902 pages. Which is solidly a lot. Like, that's a high number of pages. The number of challenges I finished comes out to 5 of 7. The challenges that I finished were read a book with a person on the cover, which I finished courtesy of both of these, neither of which was my original pick for this challenge, but they both fulfill it, so it's fine. Read a hyped book. Both of these have been very hyped to me. I saw very good things about this one, and this one has been on my Tumblr for so long, and I see it and ads about it and pictures of it so much that I was just like rearing to go. I had heard so much about this. So technically, these also both fulfill those things for me. Even though they weren't the book that I picked to do originally, they work. Read a book in a day. For that one, the Crowns game happened in a day. I started it in the morning. That was the day I finished 3 books. So I started in the morning, I did some other stuff, and then I finished it that evening. I'm very proud of myself for that. This is what got me out of my mid-Booktubeathon slump. Then the next one, a main character who's really different from you. That one was this book, This Side of Home. This is the book I picked for it originally, and this is also the book that I want to use to say I did it, yeah! Because this character is very different from me. She's a person of color who's grown up in a kind of neighborhood that's being gentrified, and she's dealing with that in on the West Coast somewhere. And so, like, that's a big deal. That's pretty cool, and she is very different from I am. She is very different than I am. Even though I'm an English major, grammar is not my strong suit today. The next challenge, challenge number 5, which is one that I did not complete, was to read a book outdoors. I tried to go outside, saw a lot of bugs, and came back inside immediately. Me and outside can be friends, but I don't think it's in a reading capacity. If I'm gonna be outside, I'm gonna be doing something, like, active and not, like, sitting, because then I would get plagued by bugs. Bugs love me, I don't love them. So I didn't complete that challenge. Challenge number 6, I did. So this is the book that I went out and bought because of its cover, and I know I cheated a little because I had heard of it before and I did know that I wanted to read it already based on other things that were not necessarily cover related, but I love this cover, so it counts. It counts. I promise. It counts. That's what I said, it counts. And then the last challenge is to finish 7 books in 1 week. To read 7 books over the course of the week, and I almost did that. I am this far through this guy, but I didn't quite make it all the way in the 1 week to do all 7, okay? I got 6.5, which I think is good enough. So yeah, this is the stack of books that I read over the course of the readathon. I had 3 books that I had on my list that I didn't get to. These 2 were on my original TBR, and I just couldn't bring myself to pick them up, which makes me a little, like, wary about them because, like, I read halfway through this one before, I wanted to finish it because it's been a while, and I just, something about it is blocked for me. I can't do it. So we'll see. I do want to finish it because I feel weird not completing it, but I also, like, I just don't want to. So, you know, who knows. The other one I didn't get to was The Shack. I'll get to it eventually. I read the first, like, 15 or so pages of it, and I couldn't do the rest. It was gonna be a book, it's gonna be a book that I'm gonna have to push myself on. I will do it eventually, because my wonderful, lovely best friend really loves this book and wants me to read it, and I will, but not right now. And then the last one that I didn't get to was my other option for my book I picked because of the cover, because this Savage Songs cover is gorgeous. It's very beautiful, but it's also really subtle, which I absolutely love. I also didn't get to this one last week. I think that's about all the things, so hope you have a good tomorrow.